all of these crappy figures, and I've gotta review them all. I guess I'll start reviewing them all. SH Monsterarts sucks. What's going on? This is JR from JR's Gameplay and More. I'm here to review the SH Monsterarts Monster X. Before we get started, I wanted to make a statement. Quality control issues that are rampant in a release of a figure or figure line are reflected as a negative towards the figure and the company both. I'm just laying that out there. When I review a figure, if there's rampant quality control, it doesn't excuse the quality control problems for the figure itself. The figure is the one with the quality control issues. Both company and figure are to blame in this instance. Now that being said, let's move forward with the review. So, I picked this figure up on Awesome Collector's website a few months back. I just got it in hand yesterday. And I'm not all impressed with the figure. I think looks department is pretty good. There are a few gripes that I have with it. Paint's all right. The articulation is bad. Flat out bad in both design and functionality. Like, I don't understand what they were going for there. But that being said, let's get on with it. So, as you can see, the horns were warped on mine out of the box. I wasn't too impressed by that. And taking a look around the figure, you know, it's got some nice grays, whites, blacks, brown dry brushing, it seems. Kind of like a pearlescent feel to the figure. I do like that back dorsal plate. I think it looks pretty cool. You know, it's a really neat looking figure, all in all. The sculpting of the black underneath his armor is pretty good, especially the armor itself. The bone looks really awesome, and the paint on it is pretty good as well. And it continues throughout the figure. I thought that was a really good job that they did in that department. Now, there are some paint splotches on my figure, specifically right there. There's a white splotch right there, as you can see. And there's some splotches on the ankle where, like, the paint bled over onto the black, which isn't a huge deal in some cases, but it is here for me because it's a $120 figure. I expect a little bit better. But all in all, you know, you take it, you leave it. It is what it is. I wasn't too happy with it. And I also had a paint scrape on a, as you could kind of see, I don't know how to describe that part. But let's move on to articulation. The head can look down, up, left, right. Pretty limited there. You don't get a whole lot of action. Jaws on a hinge. His side faces, they're on ball joints. I had one of them pop off. It looks cool, but functionality, I would have preferred a hard sculpt. The left arm is loose on my figure. In the socket, the shoulder socket. The hands are super loose as well on my figure. Both hands, pretty stiff in the elbows. It is what it is. Hips, pretty solid, not too loose, not too tight. Knees are pretty tight. The feet are on some nice ball joints. They swivel, all that. The ab crunch is kind of crap. I wasn't too impressed with it. The tail is a loose piece of shit. It doesn't really hold a pose. $120, and this is the best that we can get. I am not happy with that. All in all, the articulation is terrible. It's really terrible. I was not impressed with it. I think they could have tried to do a little bit better, but it is what it is. So here's pretty much my take on the rest of this. $120 is a bit steep for this figure for what you get. The accessories are just a pair of hands that look identical to the ones that are currently on the figure. There is no point bringing them up to review them, talk about them, other than they're there. They're not worth an extra anything, and they don't look different in any way. I'm telling you, they're almost identical. Those aren't accessories. Those are just extra hands. It's ridiculous. I-beams would have been great. Fucking anything would have been great other than extra hands. But you're paying $120 for this figure, and I don't think it's worth the $120. I think it is worth like $90. I would have been happy to pay $90, not $120. The articulation, that tail is awful. I have the loose left shoulder joint on my figure. And then the extra side heads, honestly, I would have preferred them not be on ball joints or movable at all. They could have done something better there. The waist joint, very limited. Again, they could have tried to figure something else out, but what we got wasn't up to snuff. I have figures that are more sculpted than this, that have better articulation, that cost less. I think SH Monsterarts kind of dropped the ball on this figure. And if you watch my unboxing video, it came out of the package. One of the tips of the tail fell off, and that's a problem joint for me. It pops off. His tail is awful. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. The tail is awful. And again, I think the heads on the ball joints were a stupid idea. And that limited ab crunch is bad. And the extra hands for no reason, because they look the exact same as the hands that are currently on the figure, is redundant and pointless and shouldn't cost extra. This is a $90 figure disguised as a $120 figure. I mean, out of the box, his horns were warped. Give me a break. That is absurd. Monsterarts has been continuing to drop the ball lately, and I'm going to put them on blast for it, especially with my next review of the SH Monsterarts 2004 Godzilla, because I ordered 3 of those, and each one of them has an issue, and one of them, it's so bad, you're not going to believe it. It's ridiculous. All in all, on a scale from 1 to 5, this is a middle-of-the-road figure. A 3, the tail knocks it down a point, the super limited wonky articulation takes it down a point, and in all honesty, the price is factored in too, but I don't think this figure is a 2 out of 5. It is definitely a middle of the road, so the price is up there, but you could lump it in with the other 2 reasons I gave you, combined all together. Either way, I didn't enjoy this figure as much as I wanted to. And it's a damn shame that Monsterarts seems to be going down this road of making mediocre figures and then charging us a premium. That being said, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Make sure you share your opinions down in the comments. I'm sure I pissed a lot of people off, or there's people that agree with me. Either way, your opinion is your opinion, and my opinion of this figure is they could have done a lot better. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.